Hold up, wait a minute.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 shocking things we learned from the Meghan and Harry interview with Oprah.
What?
It was really hard. 3 days before our wedding, we got married.
That conversation I'm never going to share.
For this list, we're looking at the biggest revelations from the couple's interview with Oprah Winfrey. Which part of the interview surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Limited knowledge of the monarchy.
The idea of, I grew up in LA, you see celebrities all the time. This is not the same.
The amount of information people have about the monarchy varies greatly depending on where they were raised. For Meghan Markle, growing up in the United States meant that she didn't know much about the royal family she found herself marrying into. In fact, she told Oprah that she was quite naive and didn't even Google Harry when they started dating.
I've never looked up my husband online. I just didn't feel a need to because everything that I needed to know he was sharing with me, right?
Funnily enough, she recalled having to learn to curtsy right before meeting the Queen for the first time.
Harry and I are in the car and he says, okay, well, my grandmother's there, so you're gonna meet her. Oh, great. I loved my grandmother. I used to take care of my grandmother. This is great. He goes, right, do you know how to curtsy?
Of course, this also meant she was somewhat unprepared for the actualities of being a working royal. According to Markle, people's romanticized idea of the monarchy is nothing like reality, which led to some wildly inaccurate judgments.
When the perception and the reality are two very different things, and you're being judged on the perception, but you're living the reality of it, there's a complete misalignment, and there's no way to explain that to people.
Number 9, a big reveal.
Do you know if you're having a boy or girl?
We do this time. I will wait for my husband to join us and we can share that with you.
Throughout the special, we learned a great deal about Meghan and Harry. Namely, they revealed that they held a private wedding days before their public nuptials when Oprah visited their California home.
3 days before our wedding, we got married. No one knows that.
Most excitingly, though, they disclosed that the second time around, they are having a girl.
You can tell her.
No, good for it.
No.
It's a girl.
To say the pure joy on their faces had us emotional is an understatement. The couple's newest bundle of joy is set to arrive in the summer of 2021, and they also confirmed that it would be their last child.
2 is it?
Done.
2 is it.
Meghan and Harry have built a beautiful life together despite all the hardships they've faced, and it looks like they're going to live happily ever after.
This is, in some ways, just the beginning for us.
Number 8, the royal family and the press.
What's termed or referred to as the invisible contract behind closed doors.
Much of the criticism directed at Meghan Markle by the press has been racially charged, and Harry addressed this head-on with Oprah. Notably, he described feeling disappointed that his family never publicly acknowledged the role race played in the dangerous treatment Markle endured.
Over 70 members of parliament, female members of parliament, both Conservative and Labour, came out and called out the colonial undertones of articles and headlines written about Meghan. Yet no one from my family ever said anything over those 3 years. That hurts.
Interestingly, he credited their fear of angering the British media for their silence.
But I also am acutely aware of where my family stand and how scared they are of the tabloids turning on them.
You, like Oprah, might be wondering what the royals could be afraid of. Well, Harry elaborated on the agreement or invisible contract that exists between the monarchy and the British press. He reported that they give the tabloids access, and in return, they are portrayed favorably.
If you as a family member are willing to wine, dine, and give full access to these reporters, then you will get better press.
In other words, the two entities need each other to survive.
There is a level of control by fear that has existed for generations.
Number 7, feeling trapped.
I wouldn't have been able to because I myself was trapped.
Meghan and Harry were quick to shut down the narrative crafted by the media that blamed Markle for their withdrawal from royal life. She actually explained that she did everything in her power to make the family proud.
We were doing the training behind the scenes because I just wanted to make them proud.
Unfortunately, she received very little help in the process. Not only that, Harry shockingly revealed that while he may not have always realized it, he was trapped inside the institution long before he met Meghan. All she did was help him to see a way out for himself.
You were trapped?
Yeah, I didn't see a way out.
When asked how he think Diana would have reacted to the way things unfolded, Harry expressed that while she wouldn't like how it happened, his mom's priority would have been the couple's happiness.
All she'd ever want is for us to be happy.
Number 6, their finances.
Wait, hold up, wait a minute. Your family cut you off?
Yeah. In the first quarter of 2020.
In a surprising revelation, Harry admitted that his family cut him off in 2020. In fact, it's largely thanks to the inheritance Diana left him that the couple has been able to start anew.
I think she saw it coming. And I certainly felt her presence throughout this whole process.
Their biggest priority has understandably been making sure they can afford security, which is a big part of why they signed deals with streaming services.
From my perspective, all I needed was enough money to be able to pay for security, to keep my family safe.
In light of this, you might be wondering where Harry's relationship with his family currently stands. Interestingly, he describes his rapport with his grandmother as extremely positive. As for his dad, things are fraught, but he's hopeful that they will bounce back.
I will always love him, but there's a lot of hurt that's happened.
And while he and William are currently taking some space from one another, Harry was clear that he will always love his brother dearly.
I love William to bits. He's my brother. We've been through hell together, and we have a shared experience.
Number 5, the truth behind the couple's exit.
So when I asked the question, why did you leave? The simplest answer is
Lack of support.
When Meghan and Harry announced that they were stepping back as senior members of the royal family, there was plenty of speculation. Most of it was incorrect. When asked what prompted their decision, Harry explained that he feared what happened to Diana would happen to Meghan.
My biggest concern was history repeating itself, and I've said that before.
The press was relentless, and the firm wasn't protecting them. Considering social media and the fact that Markle is a mixed-race woman on top of that, they knew they had to act. The couple didn't want to leave the family altogether. They just needed some space.
We're in a lot of pain. You can't provide us with the help that we need. We can just take a step back. We can do it in a Commonwealth country. We had suggested New Zealand, South Africa.
Take a breath.
As for the allegations that they blindsided Her Majesty the Queen, nothing could be further from the truth. Harry had numerous detailed phone conversations with both his grandmother and his father beforehand.
Did you blindside the Queen?
No. I've never blindsided my grandmother. I have too much respect for her.
Number 4, Meghan Markle was silenced.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
The latter.
Meghan Markle's entry into the royal family was different for a number of reasons. As a mixed-race American divorcee, she didn't exactly fit the mold the monarchy is known for. Markle described how she and everyone in her entourage were under strict instruction to never give any comment to the press.
Everyone in my world was given very clear directive from the moment the world knew Harry and I were dating to always say no comment.
Thinking it was for her safety, they obliged. But it soon became clear that the protection other royals were afforded was never extended to her.
They were willing to lie to protect other members of the family, but they weren't willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband.
Importantly, Markle made sure to distinguish the institution from the members of the royal family here.
It's hard for people to distinguish the two because it's a family business, right?
For instance, she described the Queen as absolutely lovely and supportive.
I mean, we had one of our first joint engagement together. She asked me to join her.
However, the firm, those running the business, muzzled her, which was very isolating.
I know there's an obsession with how things look, but has anyone talked about how it feels? Because right now, I could not feel lonelier.
Number 3, the real Flower Girl dress story.
There was also a story, did you hear this one, about you making Kate Middleton cry?
This I heard about.
Most people remember how, months after Meghan and Harry's wedding, a story about Markle making Kate Middleton cry emerged. When asked about it, the emotion on Meghan's face was obvious.
The narrative with Kate, which didn't happen, was really, really difficult and something that I think that's when everything changed, really.
She described that story as a pivotal moment for her and told Oprah what really happened that day.
The reverse happened.
It was actually Middleton who made Markle cry. She was clear that her sister-in-law apologized and that there is no ill will between them.
She owned it and she apologized and she brought me flowers and a note apologizing, and she did what I would do if I knew that I hurt someone.
While Meghan never wanted the details of what really happened to come out, she wished someone within the institution would have simply denied the report. Understandably, the lack of action is what really bothered her about the whole situation.
Everyone in the institution knew it wasn't
So
true.
why didn't somebody just say that?
It's a good question.
Number 2, disturbing discussions.
Concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
And
Who is having that conversation?
Before little Archie was even born, there were reportedly many conversations surrounding his arrival that raised red flags. To start, the powers that be did not want him to receive a title. By the same token, this meant he would not be afforded any security.
this went on for the last few months of our pregnancy, where I'm going, hold on a second.
That your son and Prince Harry's son, was not going to receive security?
That's right.
Naturally, Markle described this as disconcerting for 2 reasons. Firstly, her child's safety should have been paramount. Secondly, the monarchy wanted to change convention to deny the first person of color born into the royal family a title. This was disturbing, to put it mildly. As if that wasn't troubling enough on its own, Markle recalled how concerns surrounding the potential color of Archie's skin were brought to Harry before his birth.
What was that conversation?
That conversation I'm never going to share.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Meghan Markle's mental health.
Almost unsurvivable sounds like there was a breaking point.
Yeah, there was.
In an extremely honest moment, Meghan Markle revealed how the hate and vitriol she was subjected to eventually took its toll. Her mental health began to suffer as a result, and she started experiencing thoughts about taking her own life.
But I knew that if I didn't say it, that I would do it.
She described how she was denied when she went to a senior member of the institution for help. Similarly, Human Resources told her they couldn't do anything. Markle was scared, yet she was effectively ignored. She was luckily able to confide in both Harry and a close friend of Diana's.
Because it's like, who else could understand what it's actually like on the inside?
But it's heartbreaking and infuriating to think that, according to Harry and Meghan, the system Markle was forced to depend on failed her.
I wanted to be there for her.
There's no doubt that her vulnerability and openness with Oprah in this segment helped many feel heard.
It takes so much courage to admit that you need help. It takes so much courage to voice that.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.